Welcome back. Joining us in studio right now, we have Dan Boudreaux, owner of Sanctuary Games and Comics. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So Dan, Thanksgiving is coming up. That's usually a time when family, friends all gather together.
Yep, and we've all had that time where someone brings out the Monopoly board and everyone groans. And while, those classic games like Monopoly, Scrabble, they're classics because they've been around about 100 years. There's a lot of board games that have come out in the past 20 years that are absolutely amazing, that go the gambit of taking 5 to 10 minutes to the longer
game. Like Monopoly. And you brought quite the selection.
Yes.
Let's start with, I love these food-based games that you have here.
Yes, well, I know how much y'all love food, especially Copy and Taste.
Yes.
So I brought 3 food-based games that are all like really quick, and Ramen Fury is in a ramen pack. It's a card-based game where you play as ramen chefs that are trying to make the perfect bowl of ramen. But you can throw ingredients into other people's bowls, and you could steal ingredients and stuff like that. Nutty Noodles is a game where you are waiters at a Chinese restaurant that's been invaded by monsters.
Oh gosh!
And you have to roll dice and be the quickest one to grab the dishes that they want before they eat you.
And then what is this one? This one looks like fun. The sushi.
It's a cute little game. It's based on those little conveyor belt sushi restaurants in Japan. And essentially, you're all passing cards around. You're trying to make the best box of sushi, make the best plate. And it's really cute. All these games take 10 minutes tops.
I was going to ask, how long? So you can get a lot of rounds in here.
So, and there is a little bit of backstabbing in games like Ramen Fury.
You're going to find out who your friends and
but the best part is
favorite family members are, I guess, in these.
You can end up getting backstabbed and lose, but you're back in the game almost immediately, and because the game's over in a few minutes. One of the best games for this, though, is Exploding Kittens.
Oh.
And it's a game with this cute little stuff, and essentially cats always get into trouble, and you don't want to draw the one that's about to explode.
Yeah.
And there's lots of little backstabbing and everything, and there's even the expansion,
which is Imploding
Kittens.
And there's a fun part about this one. You have to wear this?
If you forget, if your family member that's not paying attention is playing, and they forget whose turn it is or what turn order it is, they have to wear the cone of shame.
Not the cone of shame. Oh, no.
Yes.
We'll finally understand why their pets at home hate this thing.
And then when someone reverses the order, you can see, it tells you on the inside and you on the outside what order. Oh, Uno reverse.
Oh, my gosh. I love this. I love the game where you can dress up.
You have to wear it the rest of the game if you're caught not paying attention.
Until that round is over?
Until that game is done. It usually takes about 10, 15 minutes to play a game, unless you get really unlucky.
So you want to make sure that you are paying attention in this game. And don't worry, if you like some of the longer form games, Dan has you covered. We're going to be checking back in with him coming up in this half hour. But right now, let's check in with Michael.
Just so you guys know, whenever Taylor was talking about backstabbing, she looked directly at me. Just putting that out there. A little bit scary. So anyway, we're going to check in with the forecast.
All right, welcome back. Thanksgiving is a time where you gather with friends and family. It could also be the time where your family ends up arguing over board games, like mine.
Or me and Taylor.
Or me and Michael. And Dan, so we went through the quick 10-minute games.
Yeah.
These bad boys are like the longer form.
Between 30 minutes to some of them can go up to 2 hours depending on how long people fight over stuff. Usually it's not too bad. Most of these will be 30 to an hour.
So give me an estimate of how long it would take me and Taylor to do one of these games.
Probably all day.
Probably all day.
Honestly.
And since they brought up the dodgeball thing, I'm going to first bring up Throw Burrito.
Yes.
This is a game with inflatable burritos that it's a combination of Go Fish and dodgeball.
I mean,
you try and make 3 of a kind to get points.
It says extreme outdoor edition.
Yes, you can duel each other by literally taking 3 paces, and whoever gets hit by the burrito first loses a card.
Okay.
There's also, if your kids like Among Us, they might like Werewolf, where somebody is secretly a werewolf that's killing the village, and you have to figure it out before.
Your sleuth skills. Gotta put that to the test.
Wow.
Then there is these 2 games which are really popular. Code Names. You divide up into teams with one person each round being the spy master.
Okay.
So, and then they have this little grid of the colors, which correspond to the grid here with all the words.
And so you can't see the colors.
So you as the spies can't see the colors, but the spy master can, and they have to go. Like, let's say.
So it's like like Battleship.
A bit, but with words.
Okay.
So the spy master gives a clue. Like, let's say they want red team has Washington, Queen, and King as part of their board. They can say leader 3. And then the team wants to get it.
And you have to guess how many are
but
in
you
each
could
category.
your turn ends if you choose the wrong team, a civilian that knows absolutely nothing what you're talking about, or one of these, which would be Tooth in this game, is the assassin. And your team automatically loses if your team chooses the assassin.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like fun.
This is all coming back to
What
the
is this one? I
This
see
is
these like
King
fun
of
little.
Tokyo. It's a dice game where you're rolling dice to try and attack each other and gain nuclear energy to get stronger, so you can defeat your opponents and take over Tokyo. Okay. It's like you're playing Godzilla.
No big deal, just taking over Tokyo.
Yes.
I love that. And so this one was really cool. You were telling me about this one when you got here.
Villainous. There's 3 different versions of it, but they can all work together. There's Disney, Marvel, and Star Wars, where you play as the bad guys, and you're trying to enact your evil plans, with each bad guy having their own plan and play style. And so you could have a game where Scar and Maleficent are fighting like Loki and Darth Vader.
And so Dan, we're out of time, but if people want to stop by, pick up a board game for Thanksgiving, where are you located?
I am located at 1512 Ambassador Caffrey, Suite 5, near the corner of Eras Landry and Ambassador Caffrey.
Yes.
And yeah, we're open every day except Monday.
Perfect. Go visit Dan, grab a board game for the whole family this Thanksgiving. We're going to post everything on our website, klaf.com. We'll be right back after this.